In this video, I'll show how to unpack the clock and get it ready for hanging. Now the top of the box has all of the screws marked in red. So all of them need to be removed in order to get the top off. I just had a few of them put in for now. So then when you pull the top off, first thing you'll see is the template for hanging the clock, which I'll talk about in another video. You set that aside. And the whole thing will be, the whole container is wrapped or is lined with plastic so that in case the box is left standing out in the rain or something, it'll keep the clock from ever getting wet. So just get that, all of the plastic completely out of the way. Pull it out over the side. And then the clock will be sitting on its back inside like this. Now I don't believe in over-wrapping the clocks when I ship them because just the unwrapping of them can be very dangerous to some of the more delicate, thin pieces. So it'll be suspended in these packing chips, completely covered up, packed really tight, so it's just floating in there and can't move at all. So once you pull away the plastic, then you'll need to scoop out some of the chips. You can see around the edges, especially over here, it's just a lot of open area, so you can just use a little box or some kind of container. Scoop out as many of these packing chips as you can and throw them in another box or something. So you can get the level of the packing chips down and reveal the upper part of the clock anyway. So at that point then you can grab the frame of the clock like this and just carefully start lifting it up. You'll have to make sure that these points don't get snagged on the plastic as you're pulling it out. Maybe tip it a little, let the chips fall where they may, and then lift it out like that. Now I put a table here next to it that I'll just set it on for now. And set it on its back like that. And then the weight is also packed in its own little spot. I'll try to focus on that now. In the corner, there's another kind of a box within the box that also has some screws on the top marked in red. So you remove those. There's 5 of them total. Pull the top off. And then you can just grab the string and pull the weight right out. It'll be wrapped a little more securely in this wrapping here to protect it. And then you can set that aside with the clock like that. So now it's sitting there ready to hang on the wall. And I have another video to show more in detail how to hang it on the wall. But I'll just show, I'm just going to hang it up for a minute here and mention a couple of things about how the clock is held secure by some strings on it. All right, I'm going to move the camera up closer. I've just rested the weight on the floor there below it. And then I've got a string here tied around that holds the escape, or the pendulum shaft from moving in transit. So it stays secure. And then I have another one down below here to hold the lower part of the pendulum. This one's tied just kind of loosely. So you can just untie the knot, pull the string off. That's this piece here, and it can move around and kind of come loose. It's got this peg that goes into a hole like that. Now it's secure. And then this one that holds the center pendulum shaft. I take this string off, and now the pendulum can swing freely. The reason I had that on there is to prevent the pendulum from coming loose like that when it's laying on its back. Because if these get put down in the wrong spot, on the wrong side, then it's not going to work right. And it kind of flops around a lot anyway. So this will just keep it a little more secure and keep it in the right position. So leave those on until the clock is hanging on the wall, I would recommend. And then the other thing is the little pulley for the counterweight that you use for winding. I'll just have that probably just wrapped around the frame like this, and then it's just wrapped with this piece of bubble wrap kind of stuff. So you can pull that out, and then this will hang down below the clock, and this string will go on the pulley like that, which I talk about later too, when in the video about hanging the clock. But now everything is taken apart and it's ready to hang permanently, that is.